How do we identify between spirit and ego? Yeah, that's a very common question. And it takes practice to decipher when we're really connected to our intuition and when we're really led by fear. And for me, huge telltale signs is that I've connected to my intuition is when I'm more clairaudient, so I'll hear messages. Again, there's different ways people receive intuition. Sometimes they receive it through a feeling, through emotions. They may visualize, envision something. They're more like clairvoyant. You may get a message through a dream, or, you may... So there's just different impressions that you can receive intuition by. And first, I would say that's the most important thing, is to identify how you personally receive intuition. Because we all receive intuition differently. And again, one way isn't better than the next. It's just being conscious of the way you receive it and then being confident in that ability. So for me, for example, it took me many years to understand that clairaudience. Was that my fearful voice speaking to me, or was that a intuitive voice? And so for me specifically, I knew it was that intuitive voice because it was very neutral. It'd just simply be like, go there, do this, go speak to that person. It was very neutral. Whereas me and my ego and my personality is a lot more reactive. So I will be a lot more emotional, or like, oh, I don't want to miss out, or how can I describe it better? For me, the telltale signs of intuition is really this neutrality. This non-judgment, consistent. It's quite like persistent, I would say. Like, just if I might get a vision in the dream world and I'll be very resistant to it, another dream will come to me. Another dream will come to me. It, like, sometimes if I'm super resistant to a person or a place, my intuition has to break through the conscious barrier into the subconscious of the dream world. And so I receive a lot of messages through my dreams. But in day-to-day life, if I am awake and conscious in my day-to-day, then I can really hear my intuitive voice, which is very calm, balanced. Often, if I ask myself a question, before the question is even asked, I'll receive the answer. So midway, or even right when I intend to ask that question, the answer is already there. And what happens is people go, well, I didn't even ask my question, so that can't be valid, and they push it away. But for me, I've learned the faster, like, it's very fast. And so the initial message you get is intuition. So, but what happens, Valerie, is then the mind logs in, and then it goes, oh, that isn't true. And then you talk yourself out of something, right? So it's very quick by nature. Yeah. Let me know about the other comment. I don't understand your other comment, but so for me, it's quick, neutral, persistent, and again, it's the neutral part. It's like, go there, do this, and I have free will as a human, so I don't necessarily have to. And then it's like, okay, it's my choice. I just may miss out on an opportunity or miss out on a really profound connection or information that I need. It's like, it's okay. And then intuition may come back again at another way, in another day, to try push us into that. I read a lot about this in my book. Sometimes I get these intuitive insights like, oh, contact this person. And then my life gets busy, and so I don't. And then it'll come back again. And it's a very, like, an unexpected kind of message. And so anytime something is very unexpected, it just kind of, jolts into my mind, where it's like, oh, I'm taken aback. I'm taken by surprise a bit, like, oh, that was why did I think about that? Why did I think about that person? Or, oh yeah, like, what a great idea. Then I know it's my intuition. Because mentally I can have great ideas, but things that when I ask a question and something comes very quick that I would have never considered previously, and then it works out flawlessly, I know that was intuitive guidance. Yeah. So, if I ask my guides a question and I want the answer to be a yes, I will feel a yes even if it's a no. Yeah. Well, it can be subtle. Intuition can be very, very subtle. So we can also ask, and I always, tend to refer intuition as these quiet whispers, but that's not necessarily always truth. There can be times where I can hear almost like a yell, like a go, stop, like very one word it's almost a yell, and it's like, whoa. So intuition can be there to really push us too. You can also to help, you can visualize if you have maybe two different paths or two options that you're going, you feel into that yes, and then you feel into a no. So your body, tapping back into that body wisdom too, that is, as society, we are forgetting, right? We prioritize a lot of our mind and our logic and what people say to us or outside information, and we forget to reconnect to that inner wisdom, right? That inner compass, and our body knows. So sometimes it can be just a subtle stop, or like a discomfort, or maybe heart beating, or like maybe a nervousness or something. Like my body will react, but if I don't listen to it, it will come up in stronger and stronger ways, where people have even physically like hurt themselves, or not even have been able to take another step forward. Their body literally stops them on some physical way. So I don't want to get to that. I want to live a very easy and peaceful life. So I try and check in with my body at all times. So that can be for any situation. If I'm doing an interview with someone, their outside resume or how they come across is great, but I check in with how I feel in their presence. Do I feel good? Is this a good feeling? Even finding roommates, for example. I will pick up the phone and talk to them and feel how I feel when I'm speaking to them. I don't know what they look like. I don't know anything about them. But just by their voice and how I connect with them over the phone has never led me to a bad roommate. In over a decade, I've just had the most amazing roommates ever, who have cared for my home as well as I could have, and I just really trust my intuition. If anyone goes on dates, they can be people come across as their best self, hopefully, on a date. But how do you feel in their presence? Instead of looking out, going, do they accept me? And looking for that validation outward, you can look in and go, how do I feel in their presence? How am I feeling? We just want to feel good in the presence of another person, right? Yeah. So Valerie's asking, do you always get an answer to your questions? In due time. Sometimes I'm like, I want an answer right now. And sometimes that doesn't happen. And know what, Valerie? Sometimes it does. I remember just a couple months ago, I was at Kirtan, which I really love. I really love the Bhakti yoga tradition. And I was really just in this deep surrender of like, and I usually don't ask this, but I was like, I need a message. I need a message tonight. I need something now. And I was like, really like, Source, guide me. What do I need for my healing journey right now? What is the next step for my healing journey? And I was really like adamant about that. And I'm not normally. I usually just go and enjoy myself at a kirtan. And right after curtain, I usually just get up and leave, okay? And I didn't receive really any message. I was just singing, and it was great. And then as I was getting up, there was this old client of mine who I taught like many years ago, and he was at curtain, and he got up and he walked straight to me. And he might have said hi, or maybe not even hi, but he was like, JD, I was just at this family constellations, workshop today. And I was like, thank you. And I was like, how was it? He was like life-changing or whatever he said, And it was like, thank you. That was exactly the message I needed. And I was just so hungry for a message. And it came straight to me like, you need to work on some family constellations. And I was like, yes, I actually purchased a course, and that was my next, like that morning I was like, should I start this now? Should I start working on this? Is this really going to help me on my healing journey? And I received confirmation that night. This is your next step. And I really was able to work on some ancestral, breaking some of the patterns of my ancestors and having more clarity on that. And really, that really helped me a lot, the family constellations. So, sometimes if my will is really like, I need a message. And other times it may come with just very unexpected, or we can set the intention, and the intuitive guidance may come while in the shower, or while washing the dishes, or just upon waking, it can come at any time. But I have really been conscious, like, to will it on, to be like, I need guidance now. And then to be open. I was in a meditative state to receive the messages. It's important to be able to receive. We can ask all we want, but we have to at some time stop and listen. So Valerie continues, a year ago, I kept getting a feeling to buy a ticket from the library. The prize was a ticket anywhere WestJet flies. It kept nagging me until I finally bought one. I ended up winning and only bought one ticket. There you go. Yeah, those are nice confirmations. That's what's fun too. Like sometimes I love to be in the wonder of the universe. And I love the magic of the universe. And I was talking about like how stressful that is to always be in the surrender, especially as an entrepreneur of the unknown. But yet there's a magic to it. And yesterday, for anyone who joined, we did these mini angel card readings. And I started with going like, I want to pull a card. What do I need? Should I be doing this? Like maybe I should be working. I should actually be working, right? And the card I chose was Angel Rochelle, which was, I can even read it out right now. It's the Angel Card deck by Doreen Virtue, Messages from Your Angels. And I want to read this out because, my logical mind says, go to work. And my heart says, well, take this time. This is fun for you. This is what your soul loves, to connect with people all over the world like this today. Let's do some angel readings. Let's talk about spirituality. This is what my soul wants, right? So it says, and then Rochelle yesterday morning said, as you honor and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you now. You are fully supported by heaven, and we have heard your prayers for financial support. And I was like, okay, well, that's good. And then just this morning, actually last night, I got a message. I just saw it this morning because my phone's off. But last night, someone sent a message and wants to book a 1-week retreat at my place in a couple weeks. Very last minute. There's no early bird special. It's full price. And it was just like, wow, this is so... What a nice confirmation of going like, yeah, when I really just trust in my heart, we were saying the other day, God is the boss. God, not God, let's say the source. Source is my boss. And I'm just going to be a servant and a worker, not a worker, to be of service and just to do what I can and trust that I will do work, not sit back and be passive. But follow my heart and trust that that I'll be supported. So let's look back. Yeah, so this is nice, Valerie, what you were saying. It's also fun. I love to have these little, not little tests, but you practice as you build confidence. The only difference between me talking about intuition and you guys listening is maybe our level of confidence in it. I always say that this isn't just one special gift. We all are born with intuition. We all have this inner compass. And it just, for some people, it takes more time to build their confidence in it. My sister thought I was just born with this confidence in it. And I was like, no, it took me decades to have this confidence in my intuition, because I have enough stories now, Valerie. I have enough, like just little stories like yesterday. It's like I get enough of these on a daily basis that I can't help but trust. So it's fun. You can practice by even going like, hey, I want like maybe even give yourself, okay, for 1 hour in a day, I'm going to follow my intuition. It doesn't have to be like stop your whole life, but little practice. I have to practice. It's a muscle that needs to be strengthened, right? So for the next hour, like wherever my intuition guides me, I will do it. It might be calling the random person or reaching out or buying that, raffle ticket or something. Going, let's see. Let's just play, Let's just play and see what happens. We're supposed to be joyful in life. It doesn't have to be such a struggle. And the more you're in this joy and wonderment and awe of life, the more amazing things that will start to happen. And it's almost like a snowball effect. And it's like, wow. And then you'll trust it more and more. And then you'll trust it for bigger decisions. It's hard to trust it for a big decision if you don't have these little wins that have given you confidence already, right? Okay. So let us continue reading. Yeah, very cool story, Valerie. So Eliza asks, thanks for joining. I don't know if this is your first time joining me today, but I'm just wondering, do you usually get answers to questions when you meditate with the question? If so, how do you get that answer while meditating? Yeah, great question. For my last book, I wrote it was like 300 pages, and I wrote it in 2 months. And really, I felt like I just channeled that book. I had a topic, had a title in mind, and then I'd sit and meditate for an hour. And during that hour on that topic, the most random stories would come up. And I didn't judge them. I went, perfect. Those are random stories about my life, but I trust that it'll help someone. And I wrote, and that's how I wrote my book. And it was so easy and so effortless. And it's like, yeah, one chapter might resonate with someone and another chapter might resonate. So I'm just learning more and more, like, to trust that answer. What happens is people get a lot of answers, right? You may get a lot of answers, Eliza, but what happens is then it's like, well, that doesn't make sense. I could have easily been like, well, that's a random story. No one's going to care about that. Or how does that relate really to the whole concept of the book? But I just stop questioning. Like, no, I have a mind and I use my discernment probably like very much. I'm always discerning and I'm always using my intuition as like, if that doesn't feel right, there's no way I'm doing it. So I'm not following around like a sheep being guided blindly. But when I get these inspired actions or when I get these messages, it's like, oh, brilliant. I'm not going to get stuck in the loop of doubt, which a lot of people can. We talk ourselves out of things a lot. Can anyone relate to this? We talk ourselves out of this a lot. Oh, this would bring me joy. Or that, that's great. Oh, but logically that doesn't make sense. And the logical mind is wonderful. It keeps us alive. Our ego is important. We need ego. And we need to also let our soul guide us time to time. or I think our soul will just naturally push us in more abrupt ways. So it's like, I want to just be in the flow. I want to be in the gentle river flowing. I don't want to be fighting. I don't want to be going like struggling upriver. I think I've done this for many lifetimes, and I'm like, I'm done with that. I'm done this struggle. Can I just be in alignment now with my soul's calling? Why I'm on earth? Can I just be in alignment with that? And it's often terrifying. I struggle with not struggle. Let's say argue. I don't even want to say argue. My intuition definitely pushes me out of my comfort zone. Every live, this is all out of my comfort zone. I have no idea what I'm going to say. Sometimes there's 100 people on here. They're asking me questions about my opinions on things. It's like, wow, okay. Like I have to really be authentic, just share my authenticity and vulnerability. There was this jungle TED Talk in Costa Rica. I was at a festival there, and all the TED Talk participants didn't show up. So they were looking for people from the crowd. And I was like heat stroke in my bathing speaker. So I just stopped there and watched for a bit. And then all of a sudden my intuition said, go on stage. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding, intuition. Like, there's no way I am walking on stage. Happen. It's not going to happen. And I had to fight with my intuition for a while. And then finally, the couple of guys went on, the host, he went on and he goes, hey, now we're looking for a woman to come up on stage. And I was like, oh, this is my turn. So I passed the phone to just someone sitting beside me. I was like, hey, video this. Like, if I'm going on stage, like, this has to be recorded somewhere in history. And I went up on stage with the microphone. I never talk in a microphone. Like, I didn't even know how to. And I just started speaking for 5 minutes about intuition, like why I was there and how to follow intuition and like random things. And I have no idea where that will lead, but it's like, wow, my intuition really pushes me. It just wants the best for me, and it pushes me into not bad things. But just the more I have good experiences from it, the more I learn to trust it. So you can practice on a daily basis with little steps. Like, hey, angels, guide me, or angels. I love to connect with angels. Guides, whoever, source, guide me to find an easy parking spot. Like when our day-to-day life is easy, like we can ask just for easy and like an easy day. It's like our whole energy changes. We can be kinder to strangers. Like everything can change. So yeah, you can really simply practice with little things. So, so Elisa says, I'm new to cultivating intuition and exploring ways to listening to my intuition. Yeah, take some of these online courses that I've created about recognizing how you receive intuition, whether it's fear versus intuition. I talk a lot about this, or resistance. Yeah. And then you continue, I think... Lisa says, interesting. There are times when I meditate, then I visualize random animals, and when I look up their symbolisms, they were somewhat messages that resonate with my question. So maybe is that my intuition? Yeah, of course. You could be clairvoyant. Clairvoyance is seeing images, right? So you see these animals. That's wonderful. And that's fun. It's fun for you to know that about yourself, right? You're just like, oh, I got that vision again. I'm going to take note. I'm going to take note of that. And a couple days ago, I did a live on divine signs, and we spoke all about the animals and animals as our messengers, and wild animals. And going to be even like dragonflies and the butterflies and spiders, and like insects can be a message too. It doesn't have to be this like really huge animal to be significant. We can really be aware. We can really be like, wow, that was kind of unexpected, or oh, I saw 3 of that, or this bug just landed on me and won't leave. Like, just, it's fun to just be open to this. We have nothing to lose. And again, a big lesson I like to teach is use your discernment and use your own intuition. When I do these angel readings, I share a message, I read it, I intuitively get the number of the card of what to choose, but then I invite people. Now you use your own intuition to see what resonates with you. Only you have your own truth. Well, I don't know anything about your life, I can get insights, but this is a really nice divination tool to practice cultivating your own confidence. Yeah, you said, oh wow, that's cool. Yeah, animals are great. Animals are so great. I also look at signs, many different signs. Signs can be, if you're a clairvoyant, signs can come through the dream world. I get messages a lot through the dreams. And they're powerful dreams that you remember. Dreams where you're just like, okay, I was physically with that person. Their soul was in the astral realm with me. Like, it's very definitive than just a regular dream. So yeah, I really pay attention to dreams. I'm really conscious of numbers, the times, like any numbers. So if I get a receipt back, or if I get 555 is I love that number. So when I'm traveling, it's like I was heading to I was heading to Nepal to go meditate, and my boarding pass was 555. And it's like, I'm just paying attention to things like that. It's like, cool, or land. So I love that. I love signs. Some people hear lyrics, and I'm usually someone who does not listen to music lyrics. I only listen to melodies. And I remember jumping in the car one day with a friend. I didn't know her playlist, and I was healing heartbreak, as usual, and frustrated with the timing. I wanted to have it healed by then. And then the song came on that said, "You can't rush the healing." And I went, okay. That was the song title. And I've never heard that song ever in my life. So yeah, the universe can speak to us in very, very clear ways if we're open. And a lot of people miss this. People just go through life and they may not notice. But I love to be in the wonder, in the mystery, and the magic of life. And so I encourage you guys to just be open and open to it all. Continue reading. Thanks for writing in the chat, you guys. So yeah, so Elisa says, how do you know if your dreams are signs or just random dreams? For me, they're very distinct. I have dreams where literally I feel like that person is in a physical form with me. Like we are talking in physical, like in the dream world in a physical form. It's not like a memory. It's like we are interacting. I feel their energy. It's very weird. It surprises me too. It's a dream that I still remember. Like last night I was so busy in my dream world. I kind of forget what happened. It's like, I don't know, I was processing stuff or doing something, whatever. But when I wake up and I still remember the dreams of 20 years ago or a few months ago, like yesterday, for me, those are very profound dreams that I take into consideration. And even if I'm resistant to it, is my human self. I've had some really powerful dreams about connecting with some people. And I'm like, nope. My human self is like, nope, I don't want to connect to that person. So my dreams will continue to work with me to help me be more open-minded, because I still am human and I'm still able to be like, nope, I don't want to connect with that person, even though the dream was very profound. I still have choice. So, yeah. So for me, they're very different. They're just very intense dreams. Like I remember them decades later. So I don't know if you have any dreams that you remember decades later, right? Yeah. Sharon says, spirit is hilarious. That you can't rush this. No, you can't rush the healing. That was the title of the song. I was like, oh darn. It's exactly how I'm feeling about healing my heartbreak. Yeah. Oh yeah. It wasn't like you can't rush this. You can't rush your healing. You can't rush the healing. I know. And we have to give ourselves grace, right? We have to give ourselves grace. And I remember traveling going like, okay, by this date, I'm going to have healed. When I come back on this date, I will have healed my heartbreak. And that's not true. I come back and it's like, oh, I'm still emotional at times and my heart is still tender. Yeah, exactly. And I get this message right now. Yeah. So to have compassion for ourselves too, right? And our own healing process and our own suffering. So Elisa, I hope I helped you with the concept of dreams. Yeah. Anything that, for me, it's anything you really remember would be pretty important. So Valerie says, after my brother... Okay, yeah. Yes, you did. Thanks for answering my question. You're welcome. Keep the questions coming. We're talking about anything spiritual today. So this is really an open space. I don't want to limit it with a topic. I really want this to be just an open hour for anyone to share. So Valerie says, after my brother passed, he came to me in a dream asking what happened. It was like he was actually in the room. Yeah, you felt it. Exactly. Oh, exactly. Yeah. That's one thing I'm still trying to work on. That's not my gift is astral travel. I know someone who, very good. Like he will have crazy dreams, probably 3 or 4 astral level dreams every night. He's busy in the dream world, and and I dream about him a lot actually, but I can't always consciously choose those dreams. Sometimes it's like, oh, I want to have a dream. Like, sure, I'll hang out with him. We don't hang out in the 3D, but we hang out in the dream world, and sometimes I want to have a dream, but I haven't been able to create like will dreams on yet. I haven't figured that out. But there's people who are specialists in astral travel. They really specialize in this. There's been some nights where like I've traveled the entire world in a dream, like in one night. Like, I've literally traveled the world, like flew across the world, traveling to every country. I wake up exhausted. It's like, my gosh, we're so busy. We're so, like our spirit goes somewhere in the dream world. I don't know where. This is not my specialty, but it's quite a fascinating topic, I think. Yeah, Valerie says, I feel my youngest son has this gift. He said he is asleep but awake. Yeah, it's a type of like light worker, is to be able to astral travel. And I don't know what they do. I don't know. They're healing the world at night. I don't know what they're doing, but it's powerful stuff. So Brandon says, I'm only about a year into spirituality, but one question I have is, it said that when a person dies, their soul is always around. But I also heard that we, as souls, have a choice to come back. If we come back in a new body, then how can we still be there in spirit for our... I don't understand your question. So, yes, you can come back, but if we come back in a new body, okay, how can we still be in spirit for our other live ones? So you're talking more about reincarnation? Yeah, that's fun. Well, congratulations on this new spiritual... Yeah, I'm at work. Yeah, I love that. I love your priorities. This is great. Spirituality should be everyone's priority. This is amazing, Brandon. Congratulations on just discovering this journey. 1 year. This is exciting. I love talking. I have a huge belief about reincarnation. That's kind of like a huge foundation of my spirituality, because I'm believing in karma, and I believe in it really helps me filter every single day of my life, is just feeling like I have lived countless lives. So working through karma, understanding karma, when I see people in different situations, maybe seeing someone homeless or someone, it's like I look at them without any pity. I look into their eyes and go, I've been there. I've experienced maybe countless lifetimes in your shoes. And so there's a deep level of compassion that I have. When I meet some souls, I recognize I've been in past lives with them, which is sometimes they don't recognize my soul, which is very soul crushing. But I recognize that their soul, and I'm very conscious of the soulmates that I have. I think we have soul families. So, even my dog, I don't have children, so I'm really big into connecting intuitively with animals. And I have received insights where my dog, I've lived past lives with my dog, and my dog was another spirit in another form, and now coming to earth with this spirit. So I believe our souls, our bodies are just this vessel, to hold our soul, and so our soul is continually, it never dies. So it can be this is a huge question, and we can go into like quantum science, which is so mind-blowing for me and so beyond my scope of knowledge. But there's talks about these parallel universes and how our soul can split into many different bodies, and like twin flames, and just like concepts that are so high level quantum that are really difficult for my limited brain to even grasp. But yeah, as Valerie says, it all depends on your beliefs. Everyone believes something different. And if you ask 100 people, 100 people will say probably something very different, right? You guys have so many questions today. I love this. So I don't know if I answered any of your question, Brandon. Yeah, some people reincarnate. I don't know enough about reincarnation, but some souls may take years to reincarnate. They may wait hundreds of years before they reincarnate again. So, in hundreds of years from now, no one will know, my body, my existence. No one will know that, So, yeah. But I also think we are, as a soul family, we reunite again and again and again in many different souls, many different lifetimes as well. So it's just different dynamics. Like, I was actually speaking to my father about this, in January, and I was like, "Hey, Dad, do you believe in past lives?" He's like, "Yeah, probably." And I go, "Well, do you think we've ever had a past life together?" He's like, "Well, probably." And then I'm like, "Well, maybe I was your father in a past life." He's like, "Yeah, could have been. I don't know. How do we know, right, Brandon? It's hard to know." But we just play these different dynamics out to receive the lessons we need to receive. Earth, I just perceive Earth as this playground. We're just playing on Earth, trying to do our best and heal as much as we can, right? So I'm going to continue reading your guys's So Luffy, welcome Luffy. I don't think I've ever seen you before. I don't know if you have joined in one of my lives before. If I say I'm happy now, does that mean I was unhappy before? Why do you say that? Tell me more. Why would you be unhappy before? Just about different experiences on Earth? We can be happy in many lifetimes and continue to be happy in this lifetime too. But tell me more, Luffy. What is specifically your question? I'm not too sure if I understand. Because I don't think I said that if you're happy now, that means you're happy before. I would love to know more. Penny, I have a question. Perfect. Yes. My parents are both in spirit 3 years since they passed, and I speak to them and feel them every day. I go to them for guidance, and it's a beautiful thing. My question is, if they reincarnate, will I still have the same contact that I have now? I just love that you guys are asking about this. I'm not a specialist in soul reincarnation, I'm really not a specialist in that. There's people who do past life regressions, people who connect to those who have passed over. Like, this is not my specialty. I'm more like, as a human now, how can we connect? And also, I like to talk about being open to our guides and spirits and ancestors. So yes, I strongly believe if they reincarnate, and they may reincarnate hundreds of years from now, Penny, who knows? Or they may reincarnate again in this while you're alive, and spirit may bring you in contact somehow. You may have soul recognition when you run into a child or something. Like, who knows? The spirit is so mysterious. It's so beyond our limited mind. And I love these questions, and I'm really not in the best I'm not asked these questions very often, but this is a topic for anything spiritual, so I do love these questions. But I believe, there are some spirits who will come back, and also they may come back into the family, as an adopted child, for example, or like they will be found again, or they will be born through, someone in the family, or like, who knows? Like, it's impossible. It's impossible to make those confirmations, really. But yes, I do believe we do have these soul families, and we stay within these soul families. And especially, this is kind of why I like to travel a lot, because when I travel, I run synchronistically into souls that I've met years ago in different places in the world. And it just shows me how interconnected the web of energy we all are. Like, it's like, I'm writing a book about this right now because it's so shocking to me still. And I've been on this spiritual journey like for good 30 years, and it's still like so mind-blowing for me how I run into some people around the world. And it's like, wow, the world is small, and when we're meant to run into someone and connect with someone, we will. Yeah. So Valerie was saying, even places you have been there before but haven't in this lifetime. Yes, I've had soul remembrances. I remember being in this little town in Bolivia, on top of the mountain, overlooking the city. And it's a very poor town, and like, I usually busy and poor, and it's like, my mental brain would never choose that place. But when I was looking across this city, I received a memory of like, I've lived here before. I've had a past life here before. But I didn't really trust that. I didn't trust my intuition yet. So I went to an angel reader, actually, and I didn't say anything. I just said the name of the town. Like, not even the country. I was like, no, I don't want to give her any context. I was like, blah, blah, blah. And she intuitively she's like, 1835, you had a past life there, and da-da-da-da-da. I was like, whoa. I was like, I know. My soul remembered. So I love this. Yeah, so Penny says, thank you. That's a great response. Comforting to think that way too. Thank you. The possibilities are endless. Exactly. We're so limited. Even though I talk about the magic and the mystery of life, just saying that is so limiting. Yeah. So Aw, Mary. So, hi, I'm glad I found you. I'm glad you found me too. My question is, how do we connect with ancestors? I've been told they have a message for me. I'm going to a cacao ceremony Saturday. Yeah, I'm all about intention. You know, our ancestors and our guides and our angels want to connect with us. They're with us all the time. We're never alone. But we have to ask for help. We have to ask for them for guidance, or because they will not interfere in our life in any way. They respect our divine will. So we consciously have to be open and say, please guide me, help me. And I try and do that as often as possible because I want divine guidance all the time. But you have to, with intention, ask. That's my belief system. Or sometimes, like, if there could be a divine intervention or divine, to help you. There's been times where I remember I very much hurt my hand with a grease fire, and the moment, and I panicked in my fear, I was going to turn on the tap to a grease fire, and I received a loud, like, stop, and I heard it, and then I was like, no, I was too in fear, and I turned on the water, and there was a huge explosion, and my hand was in the fire, and all my skin melted off, and it was a thing. So there was guidance there. I just didn't listen, and it was like a painful lesson. Another time, I was mowing the lawn by myself, and at that time, when I moved to my home, I had like 3 roommates or something, and that day they all left, and I don't like to, cause noise or distraction or like be a nuisance to anyone, So I was like, okay, everyone's gone. I'm going to mow the lawn. So I was mowing the lawn and up this hill, and the lawnmower fell back, and so the blade was spinning, and I was falling over, and then I felt like just this gentle push back. And it was like, okay, like that could have been really bad. I could have fallen. I could have put my hands in the blades. I would have been alone, no one to help me. Like, it could have been a disaster, but I was gently like pushed back. So I do feel like if there's some survival things, you will be there will be some divine interventions for you. But if you want to connect with your ancestors, taking these conscious pauses like you're doing in ceremony, meditating with intention. Hey, I'm open to hearing your messages, or asking a question, listening, right? So simply with intention, and you can do this every day. You don't need a cacao ceremony. Cacao is great. It's a beautiful medicine. It's very heart opening, right? And Mary, you can sit in the car while you're driving and connect with your ancestors. They're with you at all times. AJ, it's so nice to see you. I love having you on and hearing your wisdom. So, AJ says, it's the mind that demands knowledge and explanations to further its stories. There is so much that is impossible to understand intellectually because our mind can only understand limited aspects of existence. Trust. Humanity is another dimension of existence. Yes, just show up. Trust and powers beyond our limited intellectual capacity. Yes. Yeah, deep level. That's also living an intuitive life. Trusting our intuition. Our soul's messages for ourselves. And sometimes it's against our intellectual mind, and learning to live in harmony with the intellect and the heart and our intuition. So Elisa says, I know that you may end this live soon, so thanks for answering all of our questions. If you have more time, I have a very general question. Do you have thoughts on pregnancy and birth and spirituality? I guess, to be more specific, how does spirituality play in someone's pregnancy and birth? Yeah, wow, I love this. That's a huge topic. Ask specifically, like, you giving birth or you being born, or what specifically would you like to talk about, Elisa? Sometimes when I talk about birth, some people ask like, oh, well, do you want children? And I'm like, no, I don't want children. And more and more, I'm starting to just be really honest with people because I can't help but be 100% honest now. I believe that I believe in past lives. That's a huge foundation of my belief system. So I believe that I've lived countless lives. And me personally, I believed I've been a mother for countless lifetimes. And in this lifetime, I need a break. I don't want to be a mother in this lifetime because I've been a mother in countless lifetimes, It's always shocking. That answer is always shocking for people. I also have a really strong belief that our souls choose our parents. So our soul chooses the lessons, the karma that we're going to work through. We're going to be born, and the parents we're going to be born to reach our karmic lessons. And not even karmic lessons, our soul's mission and our soul's lessons. Let's even call it that way. So I don't believe in, people, we are very judgmental. How are some people in these war-torn countries, and why are some people in these poor countries, and why, and they're in this rational intellectual struggle about that. And I just feel like, oh gosh, I've lived so many countless lives that I've experienced a lot of things. I've probably experienced war, and I've probably experienced prison, and I've probably experienced really beautiful lives. In this life, I have a beautiful life again. And so it's like, okay, well, how can I be of service in this lifetime? So for me, it's like I chose a family which was a very safe part of Canada, and beautiful parents. And my mom, as a young girl, she was teaching me to trust my intuition as a young girl. So now, me at 40, I've been working on this project for 30 years. Like, yes, I'm physically young. I get it. 40 is young. But I've been on this journey because my soul was like, I'm coming to Earth this lifetime, and I'm going to master this. I'm going to work on this. And now I'm in a place where I'm talking about it and sharing about it and encouraging others. Like, look, follow your intuition. Life is so much easier that way. But I believe my soul chose to be in an environment where I was able to really, some people like my mom, I think she started to get into maybe her spiritual awakenings maybe at 30 or even 40. She was delving deeper into spirituality. Brandon, who's saying he just started spirituality a year ago. That's wonderful. And I was like, no, I need a 30-year head start. Like, I have a lot that I need to work through. And so I believe I chose a family and a location for my soul's evolution to help me on my path. Yeah, so Lisa, anything you have in mind? I'm just curious. Yeah, I don't know what more. I would love to know more about your questions, and if there was any takeaways that you had from that, or if I answered something specifically. Even how we're born. The moment of birth is very profound too, and just the trauma of being born. There's such a deep trauma. I was in the womb with my twin sister. So I went into hypnosis, and I remember being birthed through the birth canal and how I felt. And leaving my twin, because I was first. I'm the eldest. I left my twin. This is such random stories. I didn't think you would expect this, Lisa? I left my twin in the womb, and I was like out into the world, cold, terrified, heartbroken that I'm leaving my soulmate. She's one of my soulmates. And then I was ushered to my dad. My dad's holding me, and then there was an emergency with my sister. It was code blue. There was a huge emergency. My mom was like, I don't know what happened. My mom was maybe unconscious. Whatever. Like it was like a traumatic event, and I'm in the arms of my father. And in this lifetime, I feel a lot more anxiety than my twin does. And I was like, well, why? We both have the same lives, And it took me, I don't know, but finally at age 20, it was like I started to inquire about my birth. And it was like, hey, Dad, how are you feeling the moment where you were holding me? I'm this little baby absorbing everything. And my dad was like anxious. Like he's just watching his wife, I don't know, unconscious, and his other child, code blue, unable to breathe. And he's traumatized looking at me, and I'm sure on some level, on some energetic level, I absorbed some of that anxiety. I am not blaming him. I'm just saying, oh, it's fun to be conscious of our birth. And now I'm doing, these reliving my birth. I've done workshops where you actually relive your birth again. So also coming to the earth, and usually people are, usually as humans, you're only one, and you're enough, right? You're born and you're enough, and everyone celebrates you, and you're the greatest thing that happened. But for me, I came to earth, like, look at me, and then I was ushered aside to my father, and that affected me on some soul level too, of like, so I went back and did some like, some reframing of like, okay, I can be enough, I can come to earth and still be enough too, even though there was some trauma. But so it's like, my gosh, on the first 15 minutes of life I experienced trauma. It's like, my gosh, we're working through, and it's all unconscious. Most people don't remember they're being birthed into the world, right? How many of you remember being birthed into the world? It's a weird concept, but it's like, my God, we're working on traumas from the first minutes of being born here, So, but I think it's all, I think on some level, this was all divinely orchestrated, and it's all for our soul's growth. And yeah. So Lisa says, I also got into spirituality recently, and also newly pregnant. So I'm just thinking how to integrate spirituality in this stage of my life. Okay, interesting. Thanks for sharing your story. This is my second pregnancy and just got into spirituality a few months ago. Amazing. So, okay. So one thing I talk a lot about in most of my lives here is how Vipassana meditation changed my life. I used to be very angry and very like miserable person. And through meditation, I was able to purify my mind and get out of that negativity. And so I see a lot of mothers go to Vipassana, especially like right before they're born. They're like 8 months pregnant, and they go to Vipassana and they meditate. Yes, Vipassana meditation. It's all over. I don't know where you are in the States or Canada. They're all over. They're centers, donation-based. And I always thought if I was pregnant, I would go straight to Vipassana, because you create such a peaceful retreat, like a time to connect with you and the baby, and to feel your baby, and to it's just, I just think it's like the most wonderful thing a pregnant woman can do, if she has the time, is to go meditate for 10 days, Vipassana. Yeah, I'm actually in Quebec. Yeah, in Gatineau. Well, yeah, the Montebello Center. Yeah, I'm always there. I was just there last weekend, Elisa. So I don't know if you've ever been to Vipassana Montebello. It's an amazing center, and lots of, I wouldn't say lots, but like every retreat, there's pregnant women. Yeah, Vipassana Montebello, it's like an hour from where you live, and it's the third largest center in the world. Like 70 women meditate together in a room. It's all in English. Yeah, it's all in English. Yeah, so yeah, Vipassana changed my life, and it was just like, yeah, if I was ever a mother, I would need to sit and meditate for an hour every day just to calm, to work on my patience. Yes, definitely look it up. That literally changed my life, Elisa. And also, wasn't it the Dalai Lama who said, like, please don't quote me on this, you guys, but I think I read him saying something like, if we taught meditation in schools, within like however many generations, a few generations, there wouldn't be any war left on earth. We create war externally because we're in war internally. So it's like the more we purify ourselves and the more we heal, it's like, it's fun to want to heal others, but it's like, first we need to heal ourselves. So Buddha was So Vipassana, it's the lessons of how Buddha became enlightened. It isn't Buddhist. It's for all walks of life. Everyone is welcome to this meditation technique, and that's why I love going, because it's for everyone. And Buddha, Guatemala Buddha was judged a lot because he left his wife and his child to go from the palace and go live in the jungle to find enlightenment. And he was very much judged for that. But really, because I was just reading a book on this weekend, if he didn't leave to learn enlightenment, he would not have been able to come back. He would have offered them. They became fully liberated. And so first you need to heal yourself, right? Before we can heal others. Sometimes we're like, I want to change this about my life. I want to change my husband. I want to change. So we can't control outside of ourselves. The only thing we can control is ourselves, as we know. And so to consciously every day, for those who are new to spirituality, it's like consciously working on yourself every day. I think this is the most important work. I love how Braden was like, I'm at work, but I have a question. I love this. I love that, in life we have infinite choices. You could have logged into some news or some movie or some whatever platform, online social media thing to distract yourself. But you consciously chose to log on to listen about talks on spirituality. Like, this is amazing. This is just such a privilege to be here. Wow, it's over an hour. I completely lost track of time. It's such a joy. It's so humbling that you guys even ask questions or are curious about this. To share my intuition. And so in this lifetime, I've come very strongly with knowing that I will not silence this part of who we are. We all have intuition, men, women. It's not a female thing. It's a human gift that we all have, right? Yes. Well, thanks so